and welcome everybody. I'm Lisa from PosterMyWall and welcome to Learn with PosterMyWall. Today our topic is promote your event like a pro. Our guest is Shunte Gamble, and Shunte is a Renaissance woman. She does it all. She is an educator, an entrepreneur, an author, a motivational speaker, and she runs her own radio station, Mixed Talk Radio. And she is also the producer of the annual Women Empowering Change Conference. We first met Shunte when we were interviewing her to be a customer story on our blog. And that was a story about how Shunte promotes her radio show and her podcast. And she just blew us away with her knowledge and energy. And so when we found out she also produces an event, we said, hey, come and show us how you do that. So before we turn it over to Shunte, let us know who's here and what types of events you work on. I am in Atlanta, Georgia, and Audrey is in San Francisco Bay Area. And Shunte, you're in Texas, is that right?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Awesome, awesome. So today, during today's presentation, Shunte is going to talk you through the process that she uses to create the marketing plan and graphic assets for Women Empowering Change Conference. She's going to show you how to build your plan and timeline, how to create a compelling event brand, and then how to launch your marketing campaign. If you stay to the end, we have some bonus content. Shunte has created a free event planning pro e-course, which actually is a really fabulous, thorough workbook that you can use as a roadmap and worksheet as you work on your own events. And we've also got links to Shunte's favorite event templates on PosterMyWall. Remember, if you have questions for Shunte or for PosterMyWall, put them in the comments. And if we don't answer you live, we will get back to you in the next couple of hours. And this video will stay on our Facebook page. So if you want to come back and look at it later, that is there for you anytime you want it. Also, please do share this with anyone you think might find Shunte's how-tos useful. Audrey, do we have any shout outs or questions before we get started?
We sure do. We have Gokul Raj saying hi. Paula, Sass, Mindy, they're all checking in saying hi. Gokul Raj is very happy and said they're eagerly waiting for this day. So I think everyone's ready to get started.
Awesome. Okay, Shunte, let's hand over the screen to you.
Hey, y'all. Welcome to today's tutorial about how to plan your event like a pro. Now, let me be honest. In the beginning, I was not a pro at all, very much a novice. But through time and failure, it led to success. So today, I'm going to help you shortcut all of the failure to get to your successes, mainly your successful event. So I'm excited, y'all. I'm going to share my screen with you guys, and we're going to go through the steps to plan your event like a pro. Okay. So first things first. When I talked to Ms. Lisa in our initial meeting, she asked me, where do you start at? And I told her with everything I do, every bone in my body, I always start with purpose. Why? Because purpose is the root. It is the core of everything that you do. And essentially everything that we use, every tool, every device has a particular purpose. And when we tap into the purpose of the things that we use and even ourselves and the things that we're doing, we can find more satisfaction out of that. We get more joy in the planning process. And then we have more clarity because for one, we know what we're doing. We know what the root of, our events are. We know where we started from. So the best place to start planning your event is purpose. I like to start a blueprint. And if you have like a journal, this is like a great place to start. Get a journal out, paper, pen, doesn't have to be anything fancy. But if you download the bonus content, I did prepare that for you so you can walk this thing out. Okay. Next, we're going to go with some guided questions. I'm all about questions. I know our first thing is, let me dodge a question because if I don't have the answer, then I'm immediately frustrated. But questions actually guide you to the answers that you're looking for. So the questions we're going to be following today are, what is the purpose of this event? First, you got to know why you're even doing it, right? Why should people come? yes, you feel like it's a great thing. You're excited. You're going to be pumped up and fired up about it. But honestly, you need to ask yourself, why would other people come to this event? And then why should sponsors invest in this event? So module 1 focuses on building your blueprint. As we go through our blueprint, this is where we kind of lay out the bones of our event. So with any good event, first you have to have some general information. You need to know, like, well, when do you want to have this event? Date also coincides with season. So a season might deter or influence a particular type of event. So if you're having like an event in December, it might be a great time to have like a winter ball, or a New Year's celebration in January. So different seasons will kind of influence the date and the type of event that you have. Time, location. How many people do you want to come here? Your anticipated guest count will determine everything moving forward. And then what type of event is it? Is it a gala? Is it a bash? Is it just a seminar, a webinar, a conference, a summit? There are so many different types of events that you never have to put yourself in a box. And then we move on to vision. So vision is a thing that requires clarity, right? But we know the purpose of our event. So the purpose of our event is really guiding us to the clarity that we need to what? Playing like a pro, right? So vision, don't be worried if you're like, oh, Shunte, I'm not a visionary. I can't see till tomorrow. I can't even see next week. Don't worry about it. As you move forward and you go through the process, that process will begin to unveil the type of event that you'll have. You'll be able to see certain aspects of the event. You'll be able to see, what it will look like and what it all, will become. And then at certain points, you'll be able to see the guest. And I always like to envision my guest, like, what are they going to be doing? So I always ask myself, well, what are guests going to be doing at my event? Are they going to be sitting down? Are they going to stand up? Are they going to do a little bit of both? Are they going to dance? Are they going to learn? Are they going to listen? So all the different types of things that they do are very important to the types of events that you're planning. So say, for instance, my last summit. Okay, I tried to do one. Y'all know 2020 came and just uprooted everything. Oh my gosh. We had it all planned out, blueprint, everything. Then 2020 came and it was like, hey, life was tapping me on the shoulder like, I'm gonna need you to pivot. So we pivot to an online presence. So then I had to ask myself these questions again. Well, people are gonna be online. We've been online all year. What are we gonna be doing? Are we gonna have fun with this? Are they gonna be sitting down? Are they gonna be on the couch? But I wanted them to be up at a table because we had a lot of empowering messages and I didn't want them to miss it because they were comfortable. I'm going to digress here. We know a life lesson there. When we're too comfortable with the way things are, we miss the new things that could happen. What will guests gain from attending? I know. We live in a social media age where it's all about numbers. We want people to come, but we should also want people to have something to take away. And I'm not talking about material things, you guys. I'm talking about actual intangible things like, did they learn something new? Did they meet a new business connection? Did they change their lives in some sort of way? Even the smallest change will catapult somebody into their next season. So I want you guys to look beyond just the event in paper and really try and sit back and marinate on this. While in the vision stage, I don't recommend rushing this part. This is the part where you really relax into what you want the outcome to be. Some people call it manifestation. What is it that you really want to accomplish by producing this event? But most importantly, how do you want to positively impact the lives of the people that come? Even if it's just giving them a smile, right? Speakers itinerary list. Those are also good lists to make sure you have on your blueprint. You want to know, well, who are your speakers? Do you need any? Do you know any? Do you need to go get some? So there are a lot of different components with speakers and your itinerary. And then you go into profiles. I bet you didn't know event had profiles, did you? But I'm glad you guys are here because I get to share that. Now, I didn't. I am going to be honest. I was just like, I'm going to put this out on social media and whoever want to come can come. No. So we're going to talk about who are your ideal guests and who are your ideal sponsors, because that matters in the end. So when we talk about a guest profile, right, the type of event will determine, well, who is your ideal market. So say, for instance, you're producing a summit. I just got finished producing a summit. It was a leadership summit. So age, occupation mattered. I knew that my audience was going to be in their 30s to early 50s. These will be professionals, entrepreneurs who have probably had a business or been in a professional position for multiple years. So there are certain different components that you have to look at to make sure that when you put your campaign out there, you're actually talking, not reaching, but you're talking personally to that person like, hey, you. Yes, you. I want you to come to my event. Why? Because you're the perfect age for this, because this fits your occupation. This actually goes in line with your likes. You want to learn how to make more money? Boom. I got this event. That's all we're going to talk about. How can you make more money? You want to learn how to relax and improve your self-care habits? This retreat is all about self-care. So even their likes and dislikes, their passion, problems, and goals. Now, the best event solves problems, just like the best business, right? Every business solves a problem. Every event should solve a problem. And again, we can go back to just the happiness and joy and peace. These are things that are often overlooked when planning an event. An event doesn't have to be some multi-billion-dollar event. You don't have to raise $1 million. You don't even have to give away money. But if you get put together an event that's well organized, with the right energy, with the right people, with the right purpose, they will walk away empowered, inspired, lifted, lighter. Some people just need an outing. So never minimalize what you're doing. Any type of event is a great event as long as you got it organized. And then where are they at on social media? Now, a 30-year-old, let's say 30, early 50s, entrepreneur, business professional, okay? They're probably not on TikTok. Okay, I'm sorry. I love you, TikTok. I'm on there and I'm over 40. But if you're really trying to target certain people, you got to know where are they on social media. Now, I'm old school. Facebook is for the 30 and up. Instagram, you have to know where are your people. Your ideal sponsor. This is very important because when you're starting, say for instance, you're just starting your first event and you're like, well, I don't have the resume to really garner the support that I really need from big name sponsors. You don't need to. As long as you know who your sponsor is and you have the confidence and you have your blueprint, then you can approach them and they will be more receptive. Remember, sponsors, the more commonalities you have in business and branding, that will increase the likelihood of your partnership. So if you reach out to a business that's all about women empowerment and you're doing a women empowerment event, boom, your likelihood of a partnership have just increased. They also seek exposure for new audiences. Some sponsors, they want to freshen it up. They're like, okay, well, our audience is 60 and up, and now we know that, time is moving forward. We need a younger bracket. So you have that younger bracket. We would like to, partner with you so that we can gain a new audience. So the age of the business, the type of the business, and the location matters. So if you're asking, oh, I need $10,000 from a startup business, that's probably not going to be a good go-to. But say, for instance, you meet a startup business and they have a product or a service. You could ask to partner with a product or service, and that's called an in-kind donation. The type of business also makes a big difference. So if you're reaching out to a pharmaceutical company and then you're doing something about, just like general wellness, health and wellness, more organic, that probably wouldn't be the best sponsorship. And then you want to see what kind of what is their mission and their vision, right? This is where I would say do your research. Any problem that you don't know can be solved if you take time to learn about it. When you approach your sponsors, you should know who they are, right? You should know what they stand for. And then that way it gives you more solid footing for a partnership that you guys can both mutually benefit from. And then you can find them, where are they on social media? Okay. And then last question, which I just touched on, is what do sponsors gain? I know a lot of it is help me and you'll feel better, or help me and you can write it off on your taxes. But sponsors, a lot of them also want to gain something from more than monetary support. Some sponsors actually really just genuinely want to support you. So what do they gain from supporting and partnering with you? So I've created some formulas. I'm a big nerd, you guys. So my first formula is purpose plus clarity equals your blueprint. Okay. Now we're moving on to mod 2, which is marketing. Okay. This is where I used to get so nervous because I was like, oh my God, I have never made a flyer in my life. But places like social media sites and different marketing sites like PosterMyWall, they made it very easy for me to transition into making my own flyers and eventually actually learning. That's where I learned how to make flyers from scratch, was from PosterMyWall. Just time and time again, getting templates and customizing them, seeing like, okay, well, where did they get this image from? Or where did they pull this at from the media gallery? So just really using those steps helped me figure out, okay, well, if I need a for sure marketing plan, then I'm going to need some content to market, right? So the plan is when you create your marketing materials based on your blueprint, right? So our blueprint is still in play here. We're not putting that notebook, we're not tossing it aside because we're like, we done with that, Shunte. I moved on, girl. No, you keep it because that is your foundation. Just like construction, when you're building anything, you need a solid foundation, because let me give you a tip. Let me help y'all out. First area of failure, thinking my event would be perfect when it actually came to be. So if you have more of a solid foundation going in, when things arise, you'll be more prepared to handle and pivot, okay? Now, some guiding questions. Yep, I'm back with the questions again, because remember, questions are important. If you're not questioning some things in your life, this is a great time to start questioning some of the things that you do. And it's not for a negative thing, like you have to go and just kind of reflect on everything for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, but you do need to sit and ask yourself questions when you're planning your event. So when it comes to marketing, our guiding questions that we're going to follow, and keep in mind that I'm saying following, because these questions are actually leading us to launching our actual campaign and building your event. So the first question is, what time frame do I need to create this event? Do I have the tools to develop my vision, excuse me, you guys? Do I need support through this process? And then we're going to focus on building a strategic marketing plan. Remember, we're not just out there pitching to the wind. We're on social media, we're in our e-blast, and we're saying, hey, you, yes, you, this event is for you. I want you to come because this why, and this is why, and this is why. How to devise an effective marketing timeline, and then when do you launch it? So these are all good questions to have. If you need time, take it. Never be ashamed. All right, so I broke down a marketing strategic plan into this nice little chart here for you guys. So when I look at event planning and then trying to create a strategy for like, how am I going to carry this through the process, this is what came to my mind. First, what social media platforms am I using? What event ticketing platforms am I using? What marketing tools am I using? And what is my time frame? All these things are super duper important. These are all ingredients to a wonderful event, and they will actually boost your confidence. So at the end, you're a pro. So let's break it down. Social media platforms. Now, these are the 5 most used, most popular social media platforms there are. And I actually use these. I believe in them. I love them. They're great for gaining new exposure. So for one, time never fails, Facebook. Okay. Now, Facebook is used for text. So this is where you see a lot of people talking. I've even seen lately where people will say long post alert because they're going to write a 2 or 3 paragraphs. Images and videos. So when you're using your social media platforms, you actually have to know what is their purpose. So the purpose of Facebook is to connect people together. It used to be connect your family and friends. So the connection was talking, sharing, updating. So that's more of what the purpose of Facebook is. LinkedIn, oh, I love LinkedIn. It is all professional. It is the shirt buttoned up to the top button. Okay, this is good for text, images, and videos as well. You can do, people do a lot of talking on LinkedIn as well. You'll get a lot of professionals when you go to LinkedIn. You get a lot of people in like influencers or business professionals, entrepreneurs, small businesses, large businesses. Then you have Instagram. Now, Instagram is more about the image. That's probably why Facebook is my thing. Because I struggle with that. But thanks to creating strategic plans, that is not an issue because I have a plan when it comes to posting image related material. Now, I would also say don't have your, posts so static. Have them where they move. So every other post maybe is a picture, then a GIF or some sort of short video. Okay, so you can do videos and images. That's mostly the purpose for Instagram. Then you have TikTok. Yes, I know I'm going to contradict myself. Yes, most people over 30, 40, probably not on there, but influencers are, people in business are, startup businesses are. So this is a great place to do more talking. TikTok, as you know, is all about the dance move, which I gave y'all a little bit. That's all I got to give. But it's a great place for you to show your company's personality. You can show the event's personality. So if you want to do like a little demo of your event, like a little skit, this would be a great place to promote that. And then Twitter. Twitter is all about the text. Now they've expanded your text option, but it's not really for the paragraph. But it's great for texting, keeping people updated, a lot of freshening up of reminders, I would say, for TikTok. Now, when it comes to social media, the great thing today is you can actually link your event ticketing to your social media pages. So I did a little demo for you guys to show you how you can connect Eventbrite, which is what I use. As you can see here, I have some upcoming events and opportunities. So I'm using Eventbrite to promote those events and opportunities. So today I created a little tutorial that I'll walk you guys through. So first I went to the event that I created and I clicked edit. So you first have to create an event, okay? Then there are options along the side and I clicked marketing and I wanted to connect this to my Facebook account. And when I did, of course, you have to agree. So I connected via agreement and they give you all the things that you need to have. Now at this point, you should already have a social media page set up. So you can't connect something that isn't able to be connected to. So this is good where you already have this set up in your Eventbrite so that you don't have to go and create a new one and do all of those extra steps. So if you already have a Facebook page created, this is great because it'll save you the steps. If not, you can go here and just create a new one. So I'm connecting my Facebook page, which is Shunte Gamble. And then it just asks for some descriptive information. For one, you have to have a venue. And I'm in Houston, Texas. And then it takes time. Now I didn't want to speed past this process because I wanted to keep some, real life scenarios like a page loading. Now, it's live. Now I can go, you have an option where you can go and visit and see what it looks like. And now it skips the step. Usually in the past, you would have to create your Facebook page, event page, and then connect to Eventbrite. But now Eventbrite will do all of the hard work. So if I had more information in there, all of that information would have been copied over. And from there, you can invite your friends, families, or followers. Okay. Now we have our event ticketing platforms, which we just looked at was Eventbrite. I also use Facebook, and then I recommend. Okay, I'm just gonna put it out there. Okay, y'all might be mad at me afterwards, but you know what? It's because I love you. Like that's what my mom said. I'm doing it because I love you. My dad said that too. You need your own website. You can get a free website, but you need a website. Why? Because it builds brand authority and it builds brand trust. If you are producing your first event and you don't have a business, which you don't have to, you may want to make sure you invest in a website. Now, they can be free or you can have them paid. Whatever you like, go for it. There is no judgment here. But there are free websites available, but I recommend having a website. Your marketing tools. Now, we are in the age of the cell phone, but I am old school. Laptop, desktop. Why? Because you have more screen. You can see what you're actually doing. You have more space on your screen. You can have multiple tabs open. You can bounce back and forth. You can edit and update easier than if you're trying to use some mobile editing device. A webcam is always good. Graphic software like PosterMyWall or a website, and video editing software. For this one, I use WeVideo. Time. Now, this is where I'm gonna go back to my roots. Now, in the beginning, I had no clue what I was doing, none. And I planned my first event, y'all. True story, first event. So excited. I wrote my first book, invited everybody I knew, and only 5 people showed up, and they were all related to me. But we had the best time. And from there, I said, you know what? I have a choice. I can quit here or I can try it again. And I tried it again. Now, it took some convincing. I had to convince myself, so I'm not going to skip that part. But I tried it again, and I went back to my blueprint, and I said, well, what could I do differently? And this is 10, 20, 12 years ago. So this is way before social media was a big thing. Word of mouth was very popular. So long story short, I tried it again, but I improved my strategy and I targeted the people that I felt would most benefit from being at the event. And the next event was sold out. But you can only do that if you give yourself the right amount of time, because sometimes you need to look back on something that didn't work to see what parts did work. I think sometimes we take failure and we wrap it all together, ball it up and throw it in the trash. When we should really take failure, sit down with it and look at the parts that did work, because it's always things that did work. And then you can see how can you improve the things that didn't work. I always say, don't throw away the purpose or the inkling to do something, just change your strategy. So in the bonus content that I provided for you guys, I started at 12 months. Now you don't actually have to put it out there in 12 months, but I think the behind the scenes part, the blueprint, should start a year to 9 months in advance. Then that way, as you can see, I chose a balance beam for a reason, because it helps you to balance what your expectations are versus what your reality will be, okay? So here is your bonus, a preview of your bonus content. So I broke it down, it's a checklist. It also has notes on there, so you can take notes and see, you know, well, how is this working for me? Is, you know, am I getting the sponsors that I need, or did I secure some sponsors? And shout out to PosterMyWall for sponsoring my last Women Empowering Change Summit. We definitely appreciate you. Back to my formulas. So blueprint plus the right tools and time equals plan. Now, last but not least, now we can get to the fun part. Now, this is where you can create your PosterMyWall account or get back in there and get to work. So I'm going to take these next few slides to show you how to build an event. And I'll actually show you how I built one of my last events. So this is where you have arrived at the final step. You're like, Shunte, we did it. Yes. Now it is time to create the marketing material that you just created your plan for. So we still have guiding questions. We're following, what do you want your guests and sponsors to see? Remember, what they see means a lot, okay? Do I need to outsource or hire support? Now, here's a little caveat I will put in here. If you are inexperienced with creating flyers, I would, before you outsource, go to PosterMyWalls and just click on templates. And then that way, somebody has already done the work, you can customize it and make it yours. So we're going to talk about the power of communication, how to create a compelling event, your brand and your graphics, and how to create your marketing material. So I love this. I created this little flyer in PosterMyWall, and it was like, I would love to sponsor your event. Who are your guests? And this is the event planner trying to explain something they have not created first a blueprint or a strategy for. So the power of effective communication. Have you ever tried to explain something to somebody? I have, right? Now, we think that if we explain it with simpler terms or in a louder voice, people will understand, right? But people understand because it is easy. So if they know complex words, then you can use a whole sentence full of complex words and they will understand. So it's not really about what you say, it's how you're saying it, okay? And then effective communication matters very, very, very much when you're creating graphics because you only have a limited amount of space. So it's like saying a lot. If you went into this big room and you whispered, right? That's what you do not have when it comes to creating graphics, okay? You don't have all of the available space to say everything you need to say, so you have to make sure you're saying exactly what needs to be said. So I think 3 goals for your flyers, and this is your main flyers, are awesome. So first goal is to give important information such as date, time, and location. What confusion would you create if you put a flyer out there and didn't tell people when it was, where it was, or what it was? They would be like, oh, you want me to do what? Goal number 2, color matters, right? Color matters. Select primary color base that complements the mood and tone of your events. Trust me, trust me, trust me. Colors will matter. And then style stamping. I love that. Put your own style. Even if you do the templates from PosterMyWall, you can style stamp it to make it your own. And this one, the Girlfriend's Annual Flyer, was actually a template that I chose to use for one of my events. And I just customized it to make it more my style. So real quickly, we'll go through color. So here I embedded a color wheel for you guys. This is something that is in your bonus content, and it gives us examples of popular logos, right? So we know a lot of these products we've invested in, so we know how they make us feel, right? So different colors give off different moods. And then you can kind of jot down, like, what are some of the colors? So if you're having a fun event, probably bright colors. If you're having a winter event, maybe some more richer, more warm colors would be great. But I would suggest no more than 3 main flyers. You can colors. You can have accent colors on your flyers, but no more than 3 main color flyers for your flyers. Here is a little tutorial that I put together. It's called colors.com. I love it. It helps you to create your own color scheme. So what I did was here, I saw that they had explore trending palettes. So I went here and they give you all kinds of already generated palettes that you could just select if you see anything that you like. And I loved it because they went from different shades to more neutrals, to more lively colors, to more gentle colors. And then they gave you latest and popular options. But for the sake of this tutorial, we're going to generate our own. So I love this because it has different, I always go investigate, always research the tools that you're using. This website has so many different features that you can use to help you generate your color scheme. And then if you create an account, you'll be able to save it in a library. So for this case, I went and I explored, well, when I'm creating my palette, these are some of the options I have for the different colors. I did not like these colors, I will be honest. So I'm going to use the space bar and we're going to generate something more Shunte-like. Now, no blue, purple is me. Love it. Got rid of it. So now these were the colors that I liked. So I locked the first color and I thought the pink, maybe I could find something else. So I wanted to also show you that you can drag your colors to see, well, how are they really blending when you put them together? Now, I love this because when you export it, they give you different options. I suggest exporting as a PDF, and I'm going to show you why in just a second. So when you export it as a PDF, you are able to highlight and copy your colors. So then when you're on PosterMyWall and you do your customized colors, you can just type in the color number. And then there are your colors. And you can even use it for your lettering. So if you want to change the colors of your letter in PosterMyWall, you can just copy the color letter and it'll change it to those colors. And here is some flyers. So an initial flyer, I always suggest an initial flyer. So this is like, hey, y'all, guess what I'm about to do? That kind of flyer. Not really you're encouraging people to sign up, but if they do, I know you're gonna like that. But it just should give an overall feel of the event, okay? And don't worry if this flyer changes over time, right? Now, I like a focus flyer. Now that you're really starting to promote the event, you can focus on special features of the event. Now, for this event, this is actually the event that we had the pivot that I was telling y'all about. So we actually had it online, but at first it was going to be in person. So I wanted to make sure that they understood if they were a VIP, they got special privileges and they actually got a whole nother part of the event. So, and a focus flyer should increase people wanting to be there. They're like, ooh, I'm going to be a VIP and I get to come to a VIP only party, or I get to get VIP only gifts. That's great. Okay. Also, another type of focus flyer is a countdown flyer. Who doesn't love a countdown, right? I do. So with my VIP tickets, like, y'all, I wanted them gone. I'll be honest, I didn't really care about the general admission tickets. So I did a countdown and I got to 3, 2, 1, and then boom. Now, here's the trick, okay? A planning pro tip. Don't go too high on your countdown. So you don't want to count down from 100, right? You want to count down from like maybe 10, okay? Because people do not want to miss stuff that they feel other people got. That's a little inside tip. Don't tell nobody I told y'all that. All right. If you have a raffle item or an auction item, you could post a picture of that to it in your flyer. Then here is a focus flyer for a speaker or a sponsor. Now, this is where it rains glittering gold. I wish I had confetti because I would have blown it in the camera. This is how you get other people to market for you. You are not in this marketing thing alone. Everybody helping you with this event should be helping you also promote it. So if you do a sponsor spotlight or a speaker spotlight, people love to know who's going to be there, who is supporting as well. And then the people that you're spotlighting, they have ownership now in the event. They're invested, they're gaining from it, they're getting exposure. And I know there's a backwards notion that, oh, exposure doesn't pay, but yes, it does. Because the only reason why I'm here today is because I took a chance and put myself out there. It was exposure. I exposed my capabilities to Miss Lisa and she saw it. So exposure is still good. Now, I just put them together because I wanted you guys to see that even though the flyer had different purposes, they all still felt aligned. So don't get stuck in thinking you have to use the same graphics for every flyer. You just have to have graphics that connect. So my last one, blueprint, plan, tools equals your campaign. Thank you guys for allowing me to be here and share this with you guys. Like, I am so excited because I know that through trial and error, through filling out your blueprint, sitting down, relaxing with it, taking your time, you will be event planning like a pro. And when you do and you show up, I want you to have full confidence when you walk into that room. And remember, if anything goes wrong, it will be all right. Here's one last tip. Nobody knows what went wrong but you. And that's something that I did not learn until many, many years later. They never knew if the centerpiece was supposed to be in the middle or off to the side of the table. They never knew if they were supposed to have gold china or silver china. They never knew, only I did. So have fun with this, connect to your purpose, and go out there, shine, and impact people's lives. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Shunte. Thank you so very much. Audrey, do we have any questions?
You know, I think we're about to cover it, but we did have someone ask, I believe it was Steve. He just wanted to know if the blueprint was going to be available. The blueprint checklist. So I was wondering if that was going to be in the bonus content.
Yes, it is.
Ah, okay, perfect.
Yes, it is. So let's go to that right away. Audrey is going to put the link right now into the comments to the bonus content, but when you get there, you will see we've got, we've got a header with Shunte's picture, and if you click this first button right here, download Shunte's free event planning pro course, that's where you will get her blueprint and all the instructions and all the worksheets and everything you saw right there. We've also got, as you can see, here's the template that Shunte was talking about where she showed how she customized it, but we've got links directly to some of the templates that you saw today, if you'd like to use those as the basis for your own graphics. If you'd like to connect with Shunte, we have links to her website and email and her social media. We also added the links to our brand style guides, because one of the things that you can do for your event is to, once you decide what your event brand look and colors and things are, if you customize one of these templates for that, then you sort of have your design reference key to use as you create your other event promotional pieces. And finally, some other classes we thought that you might enjoy. Finally, we have, as always, our offer. Event 30 is the promo code. And if you would like to upgrade or are a new subscriber, so you can use it as an upgrade from pay as you go to premium, or as an upgrade from premium to premium plus, or of course, a completely new subscription to PosterMyWall, you can use the code event 30. We now have monthly subscriptions. So if you've been doing quarterly, you can change that to monthly. And what's really cool with that is that if you do monthly and you wanted to do a bunch of videos, you could upgrade to Premium Plus for a month, create a ton of videos and download them all, and then go back to regular premium, or even go from pay as you go up to Premium Plus for a month, use this code to try it out. So that would get it down to about $22 for a month. You can make a gazillion videos, use our new slideshow tool, which is so cool. And then go back to pay as you go or monthly later. So again, if you have additional comments, put them, or if you have additional questions or comments, put them in the comments. We will be looking, Shunte will be popping by later to say hi, and Audrey and I will answer your other questions if they're about PosterMyWall. And also, please do share this video with any of your friends that you think might find it helpful. I thought that Shunte's tips were amazing, and I think that one that no one knows what went wrong except for you is one of the best ones ever. Our next class is next Wednesday, November 3rd at 12:30 Eastern Daylight Time, and that is published directly to Instagram. It is finally here. Instagram opened up again, and they have allowed us and other platforms to connect. So I will be showing you how to set up your PosterMyWall account so that you can upload directly. You can even pre-schedule. You can pre-schedule or, or post immediately, but I will show you how to take a design made in PosterMyWall and post it to your Instagram page. So thank you again, Shunte. That is all we've got for today. Thank you, Audrey, unless you have anything else, Audrey.
No, excuse me. Nope, I think we're good for now.
All right, well, thank you everybody for joining us. Have a great day and see you on another PosterMyWall video tutorial.